What is going on? This is ShanGO, Ray, a real deal Ray. Let us get down to it. You may have seen my post about the COVID 19 ritual. This is that video. It's the Rona ritual protocol. There is no one specific, actually, there kind of is, ritual. But what I want to do in this video is give a protocol because you should be still doing your spiritual practices. You still, in my opinion, should still be working your shit as best as you can with what you got. This ritual is all about chaos magic. And it can't be more apropos because that is exactly what appears to be going on now. This is what it is. We're here. So we need to deal with what is. This is not a video about conspiracy theories or anything like that. But before we get started, I do also want to say one thing as far as this ritual is concerned. This is not a religious type of undertaking. There's no calling on no deities here as far as the particular protocol that I will be sharing. It's time to get in touch with your own inner divinity, okay? If you are an occultist, especially if you are in any way, shape, or form a left-hand pather, I guess you could say, or you would classify yourself as one, this is definitely for you. This is not about ShanGO Ray doing something necessarily and saving anybody. This is a time now that we all got to step up and be our own saviors, okay? If you do not have any type of real like occult understanding at all, even at a basic fundamental level, then this may be a little bit hard to understand, okay? But you can still learn. You can, many of you are going to have a lot of time to do almost anything, nothing but there's learning and developing yourself. Okay, this is what's going on. This is a very unprecedented time in many of our lives. Maybe if you're hella old, you done saying some shit with like the Spanish flu or whatever, but as of right now, currently, we are being assaulted by the media as well too. I consider it an assault on the senses as far as just bombarding. Obviously, there is a real life virus, okay, as to how bad it is and all that. Hey, that's all really up for grabs. I mean, if you just believe what you see because they're telling it to you, that's one thing. Me personally, I question everything. Okay, so I wanted to definitely get that out the way first before we began, is that this is not no religious type of undertaking at all. This is not begging. There's no eating. There's no petitioning, any outside spooky sky daddy, sky mommy, or anything of any kind. I don't give a shit if it's an Orisha. I don't give a shit if it's Apollo. I don't give a shit what. There's none of that. This ritual is all about chaos magic. And if ever there was a time to embrace your inner divinity, it's right now. Okay? Right now. So as we all know, there is an unprecedented worldwide amount of fear and panic. Okay, so let's just get real basic about this. I got to give you a little background before I give you the protocol which you could use. All right, but fear equals energy. Obviously, it's just energy. However, it's energy wrapped up or dressed in the clothing of a particular story or narrative, which activates your reptilian brain, the one that is all about fighting, fucking, eating, and survival, as well as your adrenal glands, your sympathetic nervous system. It's unprecedented because never in history, or known history, I'll say, have we ever been connected like we are right now. Even when 911 hit, not everybody had a cellular phone back then. And you damn sure couldn't go and watch videos and movies and do all this other shit that you can do now. Now you got 6-year-olds with a supercomputer in their hand all the time, watching stupid ass shit or playing stupid games or whatever, which is fine. Video games is cool, but you get what I'm saying. So we have never, as a collective, been more connected than we are now. So the problem with this is the energy is tainted with, as I said, as I just mentioned, these fear thought forms, these doom and gloom thought forms. Now, let me just pause right there. Is it possible that there could be, different actions from the government and this and that? Of course there is. Anything is always possible. If you know anything about quantum physics, okay, and quantum realities, and we live in a multiverse, okay? So anything is possible. There's already a world where this shit is already Mad Max, that it already exists, okay? There's already a world where this shit has came, went, and passed, and now we are getting back to life as normal as we can. In my opinion, I don't think that things will ever be what we considered normal or PCV, pre-coronavirus. It's just not. Even if things economically was to get better, there's still this going on. Now, let me explain something. The coronavirus has now been, there is an astral version of this coronavirus, okay? An astral version. You know that we are all connected at some form or some level when you get deep down enough, I guess you could say, energetically speaking. So the collective conscience, as you will, we've been inundated with this vision of this virus, and we've been inundated, and things have been just thrown at you nonstop now. They're even they got these AI programs now cutting videos and shit. That's why I named it something else now, because YouTube is going on a motherfucking rampage right now. If you put CO blah 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 in your video right now, there's a chance it could get cut, man. And it's a lot of times it's these AI programs now that are just going off the fucking chain right now, censoring shit. And the only thing that they're definitely letting through are from certain organizations, all right? But everything seen or in this physical world has an unseen counterpart, okay? We all know that, right? So on the unseen realm, if you will, or the psychic realms, the astral realm, the mental realm, you best believe your ass. Never ever in history has there been a time where one thing has gotten the attention of the whole world in such a real-time fashion. And not only is it getting your attention, it's also getting your energy, because you got that human-ish about you, right? That gets worried. I mean, that's natural. I don't care how advanced you are. Maybe you've died a few times and you're just like, hey, I know what's on the other side or whatnot. And, but even still, I would bet in that person still, the way you're going to go is important. You know what I'm saying? And this, you got people that you care about. Most of us, is not just you. There's other people that you care about. You have children, you have a spouse, you got parents, or you got a mother, you got father, you got grandparents, or you got friends, you got people that you care about. So all of this is just amassing and generating like an obscene amount of fear. So another way of saying it is, now we are living in a time where there is an obscene amount of energy. Okay? And this energy, if you consider yourself a god, goddess, deity, great old one, primordial old one, and you'd be a fool not to take advantage of this energy, to utilize this energy, because it is here now. These are the times we are all in. And it doesn't matter what fucking continent you go on. It's not like it's just, them over there in China, or us over here in the United States, or them over there in Italy. It's the whole fucking world at one time over this exasperated cold. Shit. Whoo! So what I'm going to do is share with you what I have found to be some magical protocols. Now, I do have a specific protocol in which I am offering that you can do. You can take advantage of. Yes, there is a small nominal sacrifice / investment, and it's necessary. And all that will be explained if you're interested in it. If not, I'm just going to share some concepts, maybe even call them precepts, to other work that you're doing on getting a hold of this energy, utilizing this energy, funneling it, channeling it, so that way you can use it for your agenda. We all have needs at this time. We're all going to have needs in the days to follow. So you're going to want to be able to utilize this energy. So like I said, if you consider yourself a god, goddess, primordial old one, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, you'd be a fool not to take advantage of this energy. And even more so, you'd be a goddamn fool to let this energy be used against you, because that is what is going on. You got people now afraid to touch anything. I was hearing some different information on some other videos where people are afraid to touch money. Newsflash, money's always had a fuckload of germs and shit on it. Fecal matter, urine, E. coli, like all the time. And that could go off into the whole thing about also a cashless society and blah, 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 blah. We're not, fuck with all that shit. Let's stick to the subject, all right? So, what I have here in this paper is something that I have been working with for quite some time. Okay? And I recently, during the spring equinox, deployed this to our good friend, the coronavirus. So basically, in essence, what I'm going to show you about doing here, the idea here that I really want to get to you, because ideas are viruses. They can be viruses also. It's time to hijack our astral friend, the Rona. That's what I have successfully done. And I'm continuing and going to continue to keep working it. This is not like a 7-day thing, a 9-day thing. No, we're going hard every day, because that's just it. Okay? This virus is also acting like an astral virus on the mental realm. It's on everybody's mind. You cannot get away with it, even if you try and distract yourself with Netflix, YouTube videos, anything. It's always there in the back of your mind. And it's multiplying, just like a virus. You are going to hack this energy as well. Well, at least that's my intention. I can't, tell you exactly what, but let me just tell you before we get into all this. I'm going to give you some protocols and formats, like I said, or you can get mine, the one that I am using now. And the reason why is because being that this virus is also alive on the astral realm, there's an astral version of it. You can definitely hijack it on the astral realm. I have given this fucking virus a virus of my own. A virus in which the origin of, I guess you could say, I have been working and feeding for about 2 years. And it has evolved and changed just like a regular virus would, okay? Call it a thought form. Potato, okay? But it has momentum and it's got life because it has a lot of energy behind it. Not just my own either. I got to thank all of y'all too over the years, all right? But step one, should you choose to create your own protocol to start to grab this energy, because of the prevalence and the nature in which this energy was generated and compiled and is amassing, you want to be aware, because thought forms are very contagious, okay? Very contagious, all right? One idea can destroy a whole fucking planet, really, honestly, basically, literally. So, and that can be the result of a thought form, okay? So you want to make sure you have a protocol in place to cleanse the energy before you funnel it in to yourself and into whatever workings you're doing, whether you're doing it on the mic, whether you're doing like hypno spells or whether you're doing spells that involve physical implements, you want to cleanse it from all these thought forms, these fear-based thought forms, and also control-based thought forms, because why would anybody want to make you afraid? If they can make you afraid, then they can control you, okay? I mean, look at how many thousands of years all these people have done all this stupid ass shit because they were afraid if they didn't, they would go to hell. That's quite a wager, you know? It's like, I can't see the other side if I'm dead, right? But if I'm wrong and I go to hell, that's forever, okay? So fear is the greatest control weapon there is available. And we even use it against ourselves all the time. All right. So number one, you want to make sure that you have some form or system or protocol or procedure in place to purify, recycle, and refine it into pure energy. Now let me stop there, because I know some of you are like, ShanGO, how in the fuck do I do that? Let me tell you this. Whether you're doing Tai Chi, Qigong, Reiki, any other forms of energy, energy is controlled, manipulated, dispersed, collected through one faculty, your mind. And to be more specific, the faculty of your imagination. That's why if you're doing Tai Chi and you're just doing the movements, you're basically just jacking off, okay? You need to also be using your imaginative faculties while you're doing it to get the full benefit of it. So this process, this procedure is no different, okay? There's no different, excuse me. Okay, so the second thing is, obviously, you're going to want to have your own procedure, or you can get mine, on how to bring this in, okay? Us personally, we have a procedure where, because this right here is the actual picture of the thought form, the new, like I said, we done gave the virus a virus. And it's spreading like a motherfucker now. And the more people who use this, actually, it just exponentially empowers what you're going to be doing and what I'm going to be doing if we use this. Okay? The main function of this is to purify, refine, recycle, and to also funnel it in and funnel it into you. So therefore, once you have, if you have your own rituals that you're doing, if you're going to have more ritual work, you know, this just getting the energy, what's the point of just getting the energy if you're not going to do anything with it? If you're not going to channel it, if you're not going to direct it, if you're not going to aim it, if you're not going to use it, then you're just fucking collecting energy, and there's no point in that. Okay? Especially for your magical workings. You really need, your magical workings need energy in order to crystallize. Now, the thought form here started off as basically like a genie, okay? Yes, with the miracle box. If you remember the miracle box. And one of its main functions was to crystallize intention in this three-dimensional world and in the astral world, depending on what you're doing. You actually can't crystallize it here in the physical world because it's going to automatically have its own counterpart in the astral world. In the astral world, technically, when enough energy congeals and it gets dense enough, you know, three-dimensional nature, physical reality is actually the lowest of the low, energy-wise. That's why everything seems still. That's why a rock seems like a rock and my shoe seems like a shoe. You know what I'm saying? Everything is crystallized and the energy is slowed down and is congealed. So we have this illusion of matter. Even this paper, I could touch it. But if you was to zoom in with a microscope, you would see the molecules. And if you kept going, you would see the atoms that make up the molecules. Eventually, you would basically just be looking at frequencies of energy. And this particular paper, for whatever reason, requires energy to be at a particular frequency pattern. Okay, my body requires a certain frequency pattern just like yours does. It's different than this paper, or else it'd be this paper, or vice versa. Hope I'm not confusing you. Okay. Anyways, where the fuck was I at? The point is, so you got to have something else to use. There's a reason for this. This is like a tool, okay? Now, if I'm working on houses, if I'm working on roofs, if I'm a plumber, if I'm gonna lay that pipe, okay, then I'm gonna need tools. I'm gonna need to maybe, bust out some walls, or, clear a pipe or something like that, right? So you're gonna need tools for that. Well, why just have the tool if you ain't gonna use it? That's my point. Have some ritual work. You better already be on your shit. Better already be on your dean, okay? That's what I'm talking about. So, obviously, you're going to need a destination for this energy, all right? And a practice. And I strongly suggest that from this moment on that you're watching this, today, after the video, if you want to create your own, you're more than welcome to. Okay? The system, I can't even really call it a system, it's more of a protocol, but we also give you tools. It's only $27 because I know shit's crazy right now. And there is a reason. There's an actual mantra, or I guess you can call it a mantra, that you must say before you even hit that PayPal button. And there's a reason. Everything about this is spiritual. Everything about this. Most ritual does require sacrifice. Okay. To me, I've found a lot of correlation between sacrifice and investment. If you think about it, when you're investing your money right now, if you're smart enough to be investing in stocks, if they're even going to be around, because people are all stocks, okay, the shit may very well take a big, huge shit where even stocks are done. A total demolishing of the economy as we know it. Possibility? Yes. Okay, but don't let me digress. So if you're going to invest in something, then you're sacrificing the instant gratification you could be getting from that money right now, right? The best things come from delayed gratification, okay? So rather than just having a buy button and all this, there's something that you really must do if you're really serious about this. And this activates it also for you. But what I want you to understand, if it's not enough for your need, then it's a seed, so plant that bitch. We're talking about circulating, currency, energy. And whatever you circulate must come back to the point of origin. I have been practicing this now religiously. Okay, that's the one thing I've been religiously practicing, is circulating. And let me tell you, the difference between spending money and circulating money, currency, is just a matter of perception. It's a matter of shift. Because if you think you are spending money, if you know you're spending money, then eventually you will be spent. If you know that you are circulating it, then it has to come back. And if you know you're circulating it with the intention that, hey, come on back and bring some bitches with you, bring some hoes with you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a party up in here. A huge Shangorian sandwich. Triple decker. You know what I'm saying? It will come back to you. So, in this particular, there's a video also attached to this where I describe the protocol, I describe exactly how to use this. You can start benefiting from it now. I also give ideas. I also share, not ideas, but I share how to make, I don't want to say the word now on the thing because the AIs be tripping, but the Rona, some Rona power oil. Because right now, chaos power is the power right now. Okay? I'm telling you, chaos magic is where it's at, baby. And I look at chaos magic and quantum physics and this whole quantum shit. Right now, we're witnessing it right now. And you know what? Best believe there's other rituals been going on right now as far as what has led and culminated culminated into the state of affairs that we see now. The collective is only as good as the individual. So I ask you as an individual, what are you doing, spirit? If you take care of yourself and take care of your closest and your nuclear, you'll be cool. You'll be right. You'll be straight. And then the next person does it, and the next person. Next thing you know, you have a mass, a small collective. And depending on what this small collective is working with, they can outdo the larger mass of people because they are focused. Okay? They're grounded. And they're using all this power. They know how to channel the power. Who do you think is going to fucking end up, having their way, coming out on top eventually? Okay? So you can find all that having to do with the ritual. And in the video, like I said, I show you how to make some. It's extremely simple. You'd be surprised. I also you could do what, there's so much you can do with this. Okay? There is so much you can do with this. I've just finished cooking up another little batch of, this is like super duper. Okay? It's got coffee in it. It's got cinnamon. It's got saffron in it. Yeah, this is, you're only limited by your imagination. There's so much that you could do. That's like if I'm selling a hammer, right? And I go to tell you everything you can do with this hammer. I'd be here for fucking days. Who the fuck knows? You might want to crack somebody's head open with this shit. You might want to build a house, a tree house. You might want to fix this. You might want to do this. It's up to you. It's up to you. My point is, use this energy, use this power, use your power, okay? Because right now, one of the most important things you can do is to keep your inner world safe and fortified from whatever the hell's going on out there. Especially, you can feel it when you walk out the door. You can feel it, okay? You can feel everybody's fear. And I know some people may take this in a weird or crazy way, but like, you got to switch on into vamp mode, man, like, because it's there. It is there. Everybody vamps also. So just because I say a vampire doesn't mean you're this lowly, spickable piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody vamps at one point or another, and everybody has gotten vamped, energetically speaking, at one point or another. This fear is just energy. If you can separate the chaff from the wheat, then you can eat. All right? Trust me. You're going to hit licks with the shit I kick. I'm telling you right now. If you do it, if you use it, whether that's your own protocols and procedure or whether you want to get on with this. But do something. Because if you don't do something, you're going to fucking fall for everything. And right now, everything and the kitchen sink is being thrown at us, especially our mind. They want to captivate and capture your minds, which they pretty much have. Now you can take it back. And many of you, if you're watching my video, you've already kind of safeguarded your shit. You may have to be looking after somebody else or whatever. And it's natural. Don't judge people because they're afraid, because it's a natural human thing to be afraid. And we all may have our moments. You might have a moment tomorrow where you have a moment and you got to pull over in your car or something and be like, shit, you're being strong for everybody else. And then you have your moment, your time in the sun. Hey, it's all right. Whatever comes up is what's supposed to be there in that moment. Let it come up and let it pass. Okay? You're doing the best that you can in this particular time of uncertainty. And it's my personal opinion, shit will never go back to normal. Even if, like I said, economically, things get kind of back to normal and things start opening up again. Believe you me. We got them some scatters, okay? You got scarred, okay? You got cut $150, you're gonna have a scar. That's gonna leave a scar. Well, all this shit, don't let them start pulling out tanks and military and shit when there's absolutely no fucking reason for it. But that's a whole other thing, and I'm not getting into that because I'm not one. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to assist you. I'm here to serve you in the best way that I can. And right now, since you kind of stuck in your house and I'm kind of stuck in my house, then at least I can share some empowering information which you can utilize and use to make a difference, starting first and foremost within yourself, then in your environment, your immediate reality. And if we each start doing that, we can cause a major tipping point real fast. But once again, it ain't about all that. Okay? I'm more of an advocate for the individual, for you as an individual. What are you doing for yourself? Not trying to save the kids, but, saving, what's your son's name? What's your daughter's name? Yeah, saving them, okay? Saving your spouse or your wife or your lover or whoever. You know what I'm saying? By name, not the theoretical them, whoever they are. Who are they, right? So I hope you're staying well. It's my intent that you're staying well. Also, make sure y'all fortify yourself with vitamin D3 as well. It's very, very important because I know a lot of us are not getting a whole lot of sun. Plus, the weather's kind of been, the sun's been kind of popping out here and there where we're at. I don't know how it's like over there with you, but definitely the vitamin D3 and vitamin C. You're just taking care of yourself. And of course, taking care of yourself from the inside out, meaning stop stressing the fuck out. You're killing your immune system, okay? A weakened immune system is the only way, is really the only way that you really should be afraid of, in my opinion, just my opinion, of this virus, okay? If you have a weakened immune system, then yes, your probability, your chances are a whole lot higher, okay? But don't forget also, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people have already gotten this shit and kicked its ass, and they're back to regular. So, something else to consider, okay? So, get to work using this energy, the ShanGO ray, and I'll see you again.